Catch a Break with me, the BMD.
Kick it.
BMD's back. BMD's back. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's the BMD, the host of our show segment, Meet the Band, Catch a Break with me, the BMD, and we are so honored to have our singer, songwriter, recording artist, engineer, studio master, the Magic Man from Toronto, the GTA Canada, live on a video call for the channel. Our YouTube channel is Reality. Welcome to the show,
Thank
sir.
you very much. That was great. But in terms of the engineering, I got to shout out Lucas Nearing for being probably one of the best engineers I've ever worked with. So this is awesome. It's great to be here.
Well, Lucas is our engineer for the show. He makes the show happen. We are good to go. Listen, want to catch up with you. Did an interview with you a couple of years back on my days at East FM. You were there with your singing partner and friend at the time. I think it was Stitch.
Yeah, young Stitch. Yeah.
Is Stitch still in business or no?
Oh, Stitch just signed a massive record deal 2 days ago.
He did.
With
So,
Stealth Bomb Records, yeah, and we have an album coming out actually.
so this chat today, sir, is about you, not Stitch.
Right.
I often felt like you guys were Starsky and Hutch from that sitcom cop drama years ago. We're glad just to have you on. So listen, let's catch up. Let's start out with, tell the viewers a little bit about your background, just a recap, and what you've been doing, what's happening with you.
Sure. In terms of music, I've been in the game probably 10 years. I'm 30 years old at this point. When I was 19, I went to Durham College for journalism, and there I knew I wanted to rap, but I didn't know anybody. So I started a radio show, much like you, and I used that to make connections where I met Stitch and all that. But I've pretty much been grinding for 10 years, doing shows, getting bigger. Released my first official EP last year called From the Ashes, available everywhere if you search me up. And then me and Stitch, who have a collaborative album ready to get released. It's just what's going on in the world. It's not time sensitive to release it right now, so we're kind of just doing what we can without pushing self-promotion as much as possible, just given the current climate.
Now, checking around town, I do my research and homework, as you know.
I do know.
Rumor has it that you're a bit of a comedian also.
A little bit.
So tell us about that.
Well, it started when I first started rap. It comes back to rap too. And it comes back to just building myself up, who I am as a man. Battle rap started that for me. I competed in Beast Mode, King the Dot, which are huge Toronto-based battle rap leagues, and a lot of that it's comedy. So they call me the battle rap Aziz Ansari.
But the comedy, where did the comedy come?
Just my own natural, I guess, just the way I am. I just like poking. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm just making fun of it. You know what I mean?
That question caught you a little off guard, didn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Listen, how did you get started? I know, I want to do a quick recap, then we'll get into current stuff. How did you get started as a young guy wanting to choose that type of music, hip hop, rap, try to become the celebrity you are now? How did you get started?
It was really poetry. Like when I went to school originally, it was journalism. I wanted to be a journalist. I'm a writer. I'm a writer before anything. So, poetry came. So the writing came, and then the poetry came, and then I wanted to put it to beats. And then that's where rap comes in. Because I can't really sing, but I can rap. I can rap my ass off. So,
the song we're featuring today, Promises, I believe. That's correct?
Yeah. Yes, correct.
You really sound... I listened to it about 20 minutes again for the third time. I really feel this Eminem flavor. Is he one of your heroes?
Of course. Eminem is one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. I have a constant top 5 that's always rotating, and he always seems to find a way in it. It's usually based because that's the music I grew up on, so there's a little bit of a bias, the first 3 albums.
Okay, and why Eminem?
He just stood at the time, I guess, for everything that I wanted to be. He was a big middle finger to the system, I guess, and that naturally gravitates towards an angry teenager.
Now, speaking of the song Promises,
Yeah.
before we do the intro for it, tell us about where did the title come from? Where did the lyrics come from? How did the song develop? Tell us a little bit about Promise.
For sure. So Promises is the first single that we haven't even released it yet. So you're kind of debuting it. But it just we made the album. We've been working on the album for a year, and I think it was like the third or fourth song that we picked. We actually most of the albums produced by a North Bay guy called Alja, but Promises was actually produced by a random guy on the internet. And we bought the beat and we were just vibing. I was going through some shit with my girl at the time, I guess. And my heart was heavy. And sometimes when you hear the right beat and it just comes out, I don't know. It's kind of magical. I don't know.
So it was about a bad romance or a new love story or keep in love. What was it?
It was about the transition from my last relationship, I guess, until my new relationship that I'm very happy with. And I went through, you got to go through some dark shit till you find, the love of your life, I guess.
And has that happened?
That has happened. She's sleeping right now, or else she'd be here.
Okay, so I want you to do the introduction for your song debuting on the channel. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Reality. We're about to debut my newest song that is from me and Young Stitch from our new album called The Book of Enoch. It is called Promises, and I promise you might love it.
Well, we're going to debut that and play that shortly.
Promises. Why you always fail me now? She ain't tryna hear now. Ow. Promises. Only thing she cared about. Build it up, I tear it down. Ow. Promise you I came for your love. I changed for the love. No space for the love. Promises. Baby, I can't stop wasting your time. What to do when that fame die? What to do with that +1? Red carpet, my head lost. What does that cost you when the trust done? Hard to balance this love life. When I was sober, them drugs won. Trying to feel what that buzz like when every scene's coming undone. I promised this and I promised that. Gave you my word if you call it that. Had you involved in the booty calls. Been through it all, she don't want it back. I pull up with that chronic, sir. Came a long way from Pawnee, yeah. Sexy body, feel the pressure on me. She be Gwen Stefani, I holler back. Hearts are breaking, I don't want no part of that. Cardiac, feeling she kept hitting like an artifact. On to that, move on to the next one, ain't no laws for that. If pussies are the same, that's called a copycat. Yeah. Promises. Why you always fail me now? She ain't tryna hear now. Ow. Promises. Only thing she cared about. Build it up, I tear it down. Ow. Promise you I came for your love. I changed for the love. No space for the love. Promises. Baby, I can't stop wasting your time.
Gave you all that I was, still holding on to that grudge. I never meant to go crush things we had to dust, but now we hang on to lust. Trying to find a road we can trust, trying to find a way we can go where them people cannot judge. But I know that I'm ill-informed. We collide in a perfect storm. Told you then that you've been warned. I'ma chase this dream till my spirit torn, but still you go put the blame on me. Hollowed out with no vacancy, cause I held you down from A to Z. Need to slow your roll, stop paging me. I had enough, it used to be dope like we begging up. It used to be cool, now it's sad as fuck, but I had to move on, what's after us? I had to look deep inside where the feeling could, cause do or die to get the music pushed. I'ma live this life leaving Cupid stuck.
Promises. Why you always fail me now? She ain't tryna hear now. Ow. Promises. Only thing she cared about. Build it up, I tear it down. Ow. Promise you I came for your love. I changed for the love. No space for the love. Promises. Baby, I can't stop wasting your time.
Let's keep up to speed now. We are Talking to Reality, a big hit in Toronto and the GTA. Fan numbers, viewer numbers, subscriber numbers, everything is going through the roof with this dude. Tell us how you keep your edge up and keep your fans happy.
Well, to be honest, man, I don't really think about that. I think about just constantly improving, whether it's my physical health, my work life, because I work a career as well. And just keeping myself on point and constantly improving, trying to just be better than who I was yesterday, as corny as that sounds. That's really the real measure of success. Because if you compare yourself to other people, you don't know their journey. No one knows everyone's journey. So I just try to be a little bit better than yesterday, and music seems to fuel out of that.
So, where's your career going immediately? Can you tell us about any new projects you're working on? I know you started talking about the release of the new album, CD, download list, however you're terming it now. What about new projects?
And included on the album, it comes to this. I'm from India. I was adopted from India into a Canadian family with a multi-ethnic family, because we're all adopted, and into Pickering, Ontario. And just fate, I guess you would call it. I got called to do a show at University of Western Ontario in London last year, and it was for Punjabi MC, who's like one of the biggest Bhangra, which is Indian music producers ever, and we just clicked and hit it off right away. And now he's producing a lot of my stuff. He produced for Jay-Z, produced for Pharrell. So my goal, I guess, ultimately is to continue working with him and stretch back into India, where I was adopted from, and from there to use my music to raise money to end child trafficking, which is rampant in India. So that's my overall big goal with everything, to be honest with you.
Are you going to ever do anything from your culture and roots? Maybe an Indian rap overtone or speaking in the native tongue, or is that something too far away?
I can only speak the swear words when it comes to Punjabi. My mom can speak it. But yeah, man, like I'd like to learn. I just want to go over there and introduce myself to the culture where, I was actually born into. And Punjabi MC is like an Indian icon, and what's kind of my gateway into that. So that's what the deal is.
You mentioned your Punjabi Indian roots, and you mentioned also songwriting started with some poetry, and you develop it on that. Now, what about the beats? Where do the beats come from?
The beats come from Punjabi MC from India. The beats come from Alja from North Bay, Ontario. Just this cool ass kid that just vibed with me and produced my entire last EP. And just this cool native kid in North Bay that never had the opportunity to really work with bigger artists. We recognize the talent right away and are doing our best to help them. So yeah, we try to keep it local and personal. Most rappers will buy their beats off the internet. Mm-hmm. And it kind of kills the musicality of it when you can't really work together physically.
So I try to keep it all together. Back to your songwriting, do you have a beat in mind? Boom, 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 and then the words come with it, or it's always the words first?
No, it's always the beat first, but when I'm looking for beats, it would be the mood, because I write from the heart. So whatever mood I'm in, I'm searching for a beat that will complement that and naturally bring the words out. The words just come once I get in the vibe and catch a flow.
So I'm going to ask a question to you. I asked it to you, I think about 2 years ago, roughly, on our last chat.
Right.
But I want you to give me an update for all those young reality people that are up and coming. Okay. How tough is the music industry?
It's a very, to be honest, it's changing. It's changing for the better right now, in the sense that you don't need a major label to make a living. You can do it independently. You don't need to sell your soul. And it's a beautiful time to be a musician, in my opinion, because you can get your own distributor for like $40 a year. You can put your own music out, and talent really speaks. So if you're actually talented and at least know the basics of social media marketing, there's no excuse for you not to win. So my advice would be to just keep working on your craft and never stop working and be better than you were today than you were yesterday. Because the minute you have a good song that kind of gets some good reaction, you start thinking you're the shit, and then complacency takes hold. And that is the most dangerous thing to an artist, getting gassed up on their past achievements. You got to keep improving, keep going, and experiment, and not be afraid to fail. And also have a other career. Don't depend on music for your only source of income. That is a massive way to fail in life in general. You need to make sure you get educated in whatever way you choose and have a career, because because when you have a career, you have disposable income which you can put into your music career. So that's a really important thing no one really ever talks about, to be honest.
Interesting. What about your heroes and villains? Who inspires you today?
I was super inspired from the get-go until now by Australian rappers. And it sounds weird, but Australian rappers are a lot different than American rappers in the sense that Australian rappers are pushing love and positivity, which is what I'm all about, man. I love love and positivity and having a good time rather than shoot this and shoot that and I'm a gangbanger. I ain't in all that, because that brings you into a dark vibe and bad things can happen. So I try to stay in the light. Australian rappers, believe it or not, most people can't get into the accent. I love it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but and then when it comes to villains, it's honestly the sellouts. It's the sellouts that sacrifice their own people and their own message to serve globalist elites, billionaires, to push their own agendas. It's a real messed up thing, the music industry, and I think it's changing right now.
Let me ask you, sticking with the question on the music industry, is it real or a lot of it fake news?
It's all fake news. In the terms of the mainstream, it's all fake news. Mm-hmm. All of it's fake. All of it's an image for the most part, and they all have an agenda. Everybody, just whether you're in it or not, everybody has their own agenda, and it happens that when you rise to a certain level of success in the music industry or entertainment industry, you have to go by set rules, or else you will be not in the music industry. So the alternative, and what I would say to the 19-year-old Riyadh who's just starting to rap, is focus on yourself and learn how to operate your music as a business. And that's really the key, because that's how you'll be successful without selling your soul.
Listen, it's early in the morning, and thank you for taking the time, of course. I'm going to ask you something way out on the limb here, sure, and I hope you're going to make the BMD happy. How about a verse or two of some freestyling?
Sure. I'll spit a verse for you.
Yeah. Now, it's got to be clean. Be clean.
Oh, shoot. That's hard. All right.
What I usually recommend, maybe you do a cover of your favorite song.
Can I play a beat and just rap over it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 1 second. Shoot. Okay. Pure water. I'll try my best.
I'm told here by my engineer, it doesn't have to be clean.
Okay, so I'll just rap.
But let's not make it too heavy in case
I'll try. I'll try my best.
All right.
Can you hear the beat?
I hear you, dude. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Rappers want to hate until they bite my verses. I wasn't doing this, I'd be in Nitro Circus. I'm like Pastrana with a little Capadonna. You could go and ask Katana, make a fan like it was nada. Thought of marijuana, got addicted to the ganja till I'm spitting out the lava and I trip you like Mufasa. Rappers want to hate until the BMD, and I don't really care cause the THC. And now it's all freestyle off the limb every time I do it. I don't care cause you know I make the realest music. What you saying every time I gotta grab a beer? I'm the one living love, never fear. And that's the way we do it. All up on the radio, put up in your audio. So I'ma say goodbye, cause you know how we do it, and this is I'm high.
I love it.
Man.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, man.
Listen, I know that was putting you on the spot, but spontaneity sometimes makes the interview. I thank you for doing that. I think that was wonderful. Back to the career. Goals in the career, where you are in your career. What are your goals right now?
Well, I'm 30 years old, right? So my goals in life in general is just to be able to provide for me, my girlfriend, and hopefully our future family. So with the way the world's changing, I'm looking at having multiple sources of income, and hopefully music's the main source. but I'm just trying to get better every day, build my fan base every day, and build a strong fan base. Rather than have 1 million fans, I'd rather 100,000 dedicated, buy everything fans because they believe in me and I actually help them in their life. So that's that's my goal. That's my music goal.
Hey, I want to ask you, we haven't been together for a couple of years. How much did you miss the BMD?
Buddy, the BMD has a special place in my heart. You have a special place in my heart because I used to work at the building right behind. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say the BMD has a special place in my heart because, one, I'm friends with both your sons and they both support my career heavily. Taylor, I used to do Taekwondo with Connor when I was a kid, and then Taylor came to my house and bought $100 worth of my albums. So it doesn't get much more love than that. And then on top of that, my old work, where I used to hate going to work every day because I wanted to go make music, you invited me to your show, which was right behind my work.
Yes.
Now tell me, is that a coincidence? I don't think so. I love the BMD.
You know what? It means we have to be linked together in the hip hop nation and call it a marriage amongst good friends. And you've been wonderful to take the time. Let's take it back in your career. In our 2 years of being absent from each other, I noticed a distinct difference in your aura, your confidence, your connection, your conviction. Tell us what's changed in 2 years on you seem like a different rapper.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one, it came from the confidence of releasing my first solo EP, which garnered me a lot of fans and made me feel like what I was doing is right because I'm getting love all over the place. So one, confidence. Two, this entire lockdown thing has made me reevaluate a lot of things. And as corny as it sounds, I literally, I don't want to say it's God, but I had like a spiritual awakening. And I feel like I'm on this planet to do something. And whether it's spread a message or live my life through music, I truly and honestly believe in that. So, that's the most powerful thing.
Folks, you're listening to MLB, Major League Broadcasting. Our show segment is called Meet the Band, Catch a Break with me, the BMD. On the show today, we have and I notice a big difference in him. Say hello, everybody, to Reality. Now, I want to get into that name. That name is so catchy. Where did it come from? I know it's twisted off your original name, your real name, but tell us where you came up with that.
Well, my real name is Riyad Ali, so Reality was not a hard stretch. And I understand I couldn't spell it normally because that will mess up the search. When you search for me on YouTube, if you type Reality, you won't find me. But if you type it the way my name is spelled, you will find me. So that's a little bit of a marketing thing as well.
So how do you keep your fans and keep your network growing?
By constantly involving, reaching out to them. Like everyone who likes my posts and comments on my stuff, I will follow back and I'll be engaged in their stuff. Whether it's they love fishing or they love construction or whatever the hell they love, I will take an interest in it because I'm genuinely curious what kind of fans I have. And I think it's a 50-50 give and take. So I just try to show love whenever I get love, you know what I mean? And even when I don't get love, I try to show love.
You seem like you show an immense passion for mankind and the human element. Talk to us a little bit about your soul.
Well, hip hop in its originality is pretty much journalism for the streets, and now it's evolved where you don't got to be a gangbanger to be a hip hop artist. So I just try to speak my truth, man, and that's what my reality is, and that's really what it is, man. I'm just speaking my truth. And,
so your world lives in your name. Reality is about reality.
One way or the other, it is true.
Maybe that's a song title, and if you get a big hit out of it, don't forget the BMD suggested it on our live YouTube channel. Folks, you're catching a break with the BMD. We're catching up with our friend of the show, Reality. Listen.
Big Mac Daddy, baby.
What are some of your new projects you're working on in the sense, I know the COVID is stripping you from being out there and meeting your fans. What are you doing to catch a break with your fans?
Well, I started doing similar to you. I took a gig where I'm a radio host, and I'm going to be interviewing big rappers in the scene, underground rappers who never quite blew up, and those are the guys that I want to be around. And but they're supremely talented, so I'm doing that. And then, of course, my album's done. So right now, I'm working on a personal project because I'm a big fan of punk rock music. So I'm working on a hip hop punk rock kind of mixtape, I guess, because I can't sell it because I'm sampling stuff. But I want to put it out because it's important to me.
So you mentioned punk rock. I don't see you as that type of guy. You selected your hip hop rap. Did you ever think about rock and roll country or anything?
Oh, buddy, rock and roll. I picked up my first guitar. I think I was 11 or 12 years old. Thank God for my parents who bought it for me at the time. And I was in a punk rock band, man. I was trying to be Blink 182.
Wow.
Sum 41, all that. Yeah.
Wow.
I just wasn't that talented at guitar, so I had to figure out something else.
Well, listen, when I hear you sing the songs and I hear that Eminem inspiration coming out, I don't see the rock and roll star. Would you ever do a rock and roll hip hop blend ever?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I have a new project I'm working on right now, a punk rock hip hop blend. It's sampling songs that were popular, so I can't sell it, but I'm doing it for me and hopefully my fans.
Boy, I'd love to hear the track of that. You'll have to send it to us.
You get all the exclusives.
Listen, I want to ask you, again, for the ones that are out there lacking confidence, sitting on the fence, should I stay, should I go? What is reality's tip of the day?
Reality's tip of the day is to follow your gut instinct, because believe it or not, your gut knows what's right, not your brain. And screw what other people will think of you. You're allowed to fail. Failing is okay. And I don't like how people think, oh, if I fail at something, I must suck at it. It's like you're supposed to fail. That's how innovation happens. That's how you grow. So don't be scared to fail, because enough times, if you shoot 50 bullets at a target, chances are one of them are going to hit it. So keep failing until you succeed. There's no secret sauce. Hard work is the process.
Unbelievable. Listen, how about some shout outs? You must have a shout out or two. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to shout out the Big Mac Daddy and the whole Pritchard family for all the support. 2, want to shout out Lucas, because it's kind of funny that we're reconnecting right now. 3, Young Stitch, who I have a thing coming out with. I'm his hype man, and we're going to do some exciting stuff. 4, my beautiful girlfriend, who has supported me through all this. And 5, the people of the world chasing their dreams.
Listen, we're running out of time. Thanks for taking the time. Give us your social media, how the fans or any new people want to connect with you.
You can find me on Instagram. It's the best way to find me about music stuff. It's Official Reality. So it's official spelt normally, and then reality, RIYALITY.
Interesting. Say it again in case somebody didn't hear it.
RIYALITY. Hey,
listen, it's been great catching up with you. I definitely want to have you back for a recook the thoughts. Hear you spitting those words out again. Folks, you've been listening to MLB, Major League Broadcast. Break with the BMD. If seen, heard, or saw, make sure you subscribe and touch that like button. Reality, until we catch up again, my friend, all is well with you, and good luck. Stay in touch.
Thanks, brother. Love you. I'll message you right now, all right?
See you then.
All right, buddy. See you, Lucas.
See you.
BMD's back.